Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to show you the location of all the components you can see in this engine bay of a Mercedes W204 C-Class with a 2.2 liters diesel engine. So let's take out this cover. We need to pull it. And as you can see, it looks quite crowded in here. So let's start from the driver's side. We've got here one of the main fuse boxes, the brake fluid reservoir with the brake booster. We've got here the vacuum line, which comes from the intake manifold through this line. It connects down there. A brake fluid level sensor. This is the air condition freon, which comes in form of gas back to the compressor. We've got there the AC compressor under. Here we have the power steering pump, and on top we've got the power steering reservoir. Down here we've got a temperature sensor. That's the intake manifold absolute pressure sensor. We've got here a heat exchanger. The coolant is running through it and then it comes out this way. On top here we've got the diesel filter. Here we have the actuator for the intake manifold runners. It looks like this is broken and disconnected here, as you can see. We need to replace this actuator. Here we have the fuel pressure regulator connector, and under here, under this wiring harness, we've got the fuel rail which delivers to each injector pressurized diesel. Here we have the fuel pressure sensor. Now under this plastic housing here we've got the thermostat. Here we have two coolant temperature sensors. Here we have the connectors for the high pressure fuel pump, which is under here. And it looks like the high pressure fuel pump is driven by the belt, not directly attached to the camshafts like it is on the older model. So in general this engine bay is quite compact and it's hard to point at the components here. But somewhere under here we've got the main delivery line for the fuel rail. There is the serpentine belt. We've got the tensioner right in the middle there. On top here we've got the oil separator with the 4 injectors, as I said. Now back here we've got the AGR valve, and here we have the connector for the oxygen sensor number 1, which is very well placed here. Well, at least it's easier to get access than the sensor itself, which is under there, and you definitely have to go under the car to get access to the oxygen sensor. On top here we've got the computer of the car. Under the computer we've got the air filter. Here we have the turbocharger, and we have the electric actuator. So this turbocharger does not need vacuum to be turned on and off. Here we have the mass airflow sensor and another air pressure sensor. Under there we've got all the turbocharger needs, like oil intake pipes, oil outputs, coolant outputs and stuff like that. Here we have an auxiliary water pump, and here we can charge the battery, for example, which is located under this basically channel for the air conditioned air. Oh yeah, so here you can see actually the first oxygen sensor and the catalytic converter. Under all these things we've got the intake manifold, because this is a direct injected engine, so the intakes can be covered in oil, especially if you don't install a oil catch can on this oil separator, because these are not so efficient. Here we have the camshaft position sensor, the ABS pump with the ABS control unit. Okay, so that's pretty much it you can see on this engine bay. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a nice day and take care.